There is a faceless YouTube channel called Brightside, bringing in an estimated $40,000 in AdSense revenue every single month. To understand how they pull those numbers, we have to look at their structure. This diagram shows their formula relies on three basic pillars: simple storytelling, cinematic visuals, and evergreen educational topics. These elements constantly feed into a loop of audience retention. Historically, maintaining that level of quality required a small army. You needed dedicated writers to script the educational topics, editors to stitch together the cinematic visuals, and days of production time for a single upload. That heavy operational lift creates a massive barrier to entry. The difficulty of managing a full production team acts as a moat, protecting that $40,000 monthly income from competitors. You might hear that using AI to bypass that moat doesn't work, that YouTube automatically penalizes or demonetizes AI-generated content. But if you look closely at their policies, the algorithm actually targets low-effort, zero-value spam. YouTube doesn't punish the underlying tools you use, it punishes a lack of viewer retention. So we are setting a timer. We want to see if we can bypass the human bottlenecks and clone this exact high-retention machine from scratch, giving ourselves exactly 20 minutes to do it. If this works, the daily requirements of running a channel change. You stop being a manual laborer cutting clips on a timeline, and you step into the role of a strategic director. We start by bringing in Claude. Rather than just asking it to write a script, we are integrating it to act as the strategic intelligence for the entire channel's development. This chart shows YouTube's RPM, the revenue paid per 1,000 views, across various content categories. By analyzing this data, Claude zeroes in on finance, tech, and education as the most profitable targets, helping us lock in a topic with high earning potential. From there, Claude uses that niche data to output a highly structured script. It identifies viral hooks and formats the narrative to maximize viewer retention, all without us having to do any manual research. Instantly, the first major production bottleneck is solved. Raw platform data is converted into a ready-to-produce narrative structure. Normally, this is where the friction starts. You have to generate individual clips, record a clear voiceover, and manually match the audio to the visuals frame by frame. To bypass this, we use Higgsfield MCP as our unified generation engine. It collapses that entire fragmented pipeline, audio, video, and editing, into a single prompt. Here is the first output, a historical documentary exploring ancient Pompeii. The engine automatically controlled the pacing and matched the historical voiceover directly to the visuals. It even generated context-accurate views of the archaeological sites, maintaining complete visual consistency the entire time. A production process that historically took several days of manual timeline editing is executed flawlessly in just a few minutes. Generating one successful video is a neat trick. A functioning digital business requires a process that scales reliably week after week. To handle that, the system also automates the final packaging phase. It instantly generates multiple thumbnails for A/B testing, alongside optimized titles and tags. To prove it scales, we prompted the AI to generate a second, distinct video about Venice. Without a single manual correction, it produced complex architectural views like the crowded Rialto Bridge over the canal. And instead of relying on a copy-paste template, Claude pulled in deep factual research. It sourced and integrated documentation like this historical view of a flooded St. Mark's Square, ensuring the new video contains completely unique insights. By removing the friction between script, visuals, and packaging, you establish a system where increasing your upload volume no longer requires increasing your staff. Looking closely at these generated assets, the pacing holds up. The AI voice accurately matches the historical context, and the scripts deliver original facts. Those highly edited, cohesive visuals check exactly the boxes YouTube looks for when reviewing channels for their partner program. This diagram shows the algorithm's actual filter. When an AI video prioritizes high-value research, original insights, and strong engagement, it successfully passes through YouTube's strict quality checkpoints. The proof of concept is solid. This setup produces high-tier content that directly aligns with the quality and originality benchmarks required to enter the YouTube Partner Program. We started off with a 20-minute timer, and within that window, we essentially cloned an entire high-tier production studio directly from a laptop. The technical and financial barriers that previously blocked independent broadcasters from making this style of content no longer exist. Operating a camera or balancing an editing timeline is no longer the metric for success. Achieving a cinematic scale now comes down purely to the quality and depth of your ideas. Now that the technical hurdles of production are effectively solved, the only thing left to do is pick a topic and start building.